welcome to episode 4 of Red and Gold Rewind. Before we get started today, we'd like to remind everybody to go to twitch.tv/9 Faithful Radio to join us for the link of all our shows. Plus, we got a couple special ones coming once training camp hits. For the Faithful, by the Faithful, pre-launch sale is coming July 30th. Save 20% off of all our designs. Go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop for more details. Go to seatgiant.com and use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio, all one word, and save on all your theater, concert, and live sporting events. That website again is seatgiant.com, and the promo code is NinerFaithfulRadio. Get officially licensed gear from shop49ers.com by using our affiliate link. It costs you no more, and it really helps out the show. The link will be available in the podcast and video descriptions. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com to check out our interviews, blogs, and previous episode of all our shows, plus a few extra little goodies we got there for you. And you can follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram. It's at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter, it's Niner Faithful R. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, faithful of all ages, let's get this show started.
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown! No greater redemption, the man's seat. Navarro Bowman, who could not cover an onside kick, catches a deflected pass for an interception and runs it 7 miles for a touchdown.
You are now tuned in to Red and Gold Rewind, exclusively streamed at twitch.tv/Niner Faithful Radio.
What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a legendary week. You just catching up? Okay, so let's get this started. I'm really excited to review this game. Niners Aints 2011. Matter of fact, to be exact, it was January 14th, 2012. Ah, what a day, what a game. So, just a little pretense. It was the first playoff game at the Stick since the comeback versus the Giants. The Niners were 7-1 at the Stick that year, the best since 2001, the only loss being in week 2 versus the Cry Girls. The Aints were 0-4 in road playoff games, and we had a lot of Pro Bowlers in this game. Andy Lee, David Akers were Pro Bowlers for the Niners special teams. Bruce Miller, Frank Gore, Joe Staley, and Jonathan Goodwin made it for the Niners. And the Niners had at least one Pro Bowler on every level of their defense. On the D-line, it was Justin Smith. Linebacker, it was P. Willis. And the secondary had the most, which was Carlos Rogers, made it out of the cornerbacks. And free safety, Deshaun Goldston, made it for the Niners defense. Our starters in the game, Alex Smith was quarterback, Bruce Miller was fullback, Frank Gore was running back. We started in the 2 tight end set, which were Vernon Davis and Justin Peel. Our wide receiver was Michael Crabtree. Our left tackle was Joe Staley. Left guard, Mike Potty. Center, Jonathan Goodwin. Right guard, Adam Snyder. And right tackle, Anthony Davis. The Niners D, man, this honestly, this definitely might be maybe one of the best non-championship era Niner defenses we had. I mean, this defense is stacked. Ray McDonald at left tackle, Isaac Sopowaga at nose tackle, Justin Smith at right tackle. Our outside backers were Ahmad Brooks and Paris Harrelson, and our inside backers were probably the 2 best inside backers in team history, maybe even NFL history as far as a duo, Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. And our starters in the secondary were Carlos Rogers and Terrell Brown at corner, and Dante Hittner and Deshaun Goldston at free safety. So the Niners would win the coin toss, which they did every 11 times that season, and every time they deferred to the second half so the Aints would get the ball. And that honestly, we all know what happened. I'm pretty sure, it's the famous hit by Dante Hittner that knocked Pierre Thomas out of the game. And Ashcon came up with one of the dopest rhymes when he said, let's see what he said. He goes, let's be real, if you got hit like Pierre got hit, you probably coughed the ball up too. And I mean, he just got rocked. Now, I will admit that was a hit, a helmet to helmet hit, but it wasn't illegal yet. So can't cry over spilt milk. But I think the key to this drive is everybody just kind of remembers the turnover. But the Ants were moving the ball. They had 12 plays, went on 78-yard drive. I mean, that's not exactly, basically the Niners were lucky. I don't want to say lucky, but they were very fortunate to get that turnover, or it might have been a whole different ball game. What's this? What's this? We don't want this. So Pierre Thomas gets knocked out. We recover the fumble. Niners would actually not score on that drive. And they would move it to their 47, though. And on 3rd and 5, Alex Smith was sacked by Ron Harper, who had 7.5 sacks that year. And Andy Lee would punt the ball away. The second drive would be 3 and out when on 3rd and 8, Drew Brees was sacked by rookie Aldon Smith. Oh, man. Watching this game back and everything, you just realize really how much of a freak of nature Aldon Smith was. And it was almost really sad for me to watch this game back because I was watching how good our defensive was. What really surprised me watching this game was how great our secondary was. Our secondary was really, really good. And you're just thinking to yourself, like, man, why couldn't we win a championship, bro? Like that clearly was a championship defense there in 2011, 2012, and 2013. It was, man, we couldn't win a championship. And, then you watch Aldon Smith and you're just like, man, what could have been? What could have been? But that would give the Niners the second drive, and it would be 2 plays. And on 2nd and 9, Alex would hit Vernon Davis for 49-yard touchdown where Michael Jenkins would actually tackle Roman Harper that allowed Vernon to sprint to the end zone and give the Niners a 7-0 lead. The Saints' next drive would be 3 plays, and on 1st and 10, Drew Brees would be picked by Deshaun the Hawk Golston, who really, actually, honestly, should have scored a pick 6 on this play, but would take it to the Niners the New Orleans 4-yard line. Sorry about that. And the Niners would drive 3 plays, and after his first 2 passes were incomplete, Alex would hit Michael Crabtree, who actually had a pretty rough game, on 3rd and goal and make it 14-0 Niners. Now the Niners would kick off and force a turnover, but not punch it in. And David Akers, who set an NFL record for 44 made field goals that year, would hit a 25-yard field goal to make it 17-0 in the second quarter. And really, honestly, even though the score wouldn't necessarily kind of dictate it, the game I felt kind of changed after this. Because you thought that the Niners were going to be on the roll and it was going to be a blowout and everything like that. But the Niners' offense would actually become ice, like Arctic cold after this. And the Ants would heat up a little bit. And would go on a 9-play, 80-yard drive that we almost had another turnover, but the call was overturned. And then we almost had another turnover, but forward progress was ruled to have stopped. And on the next play, Brees hit Jimmy Graham to make it 17-7 Aints, while Brees was 7 for 7 for 73 yards and that touchdown on the drive. I mean, that drive was extremely, extremely scary. You just saw how potent that Aints offense was, which was the number 1 ranked offense in the league, and they were number one on third down and number one on third and long. But consequently, they were -3 in the turnover department, but the Niners were plus 28 in the regular season. The Niners, like I said, the Niners all would go cold and go 3-and-out, giving the ball back to New Orleans. And 7 plays later, it was 17-14 after Colston's 25-yard touchdown, with Brees going 4 for 6 for 58 yards on the drive. Honestly, that touchdown pass to Colston, I mean, that's not. It was Chris Culliver, I believe, that was in coverage. And you know what? There's nothing that man could have done. That was literally just, Drew Brees put it right in the basket. Colston tiptoed across the sideline, to make sure that he got both feet in and, stepped over the pylon and everything like that. And there's just literally nothing the defense can do. It's the old footballism. A great throw beats great coverage every single time. And that's exactly what happened on this touchdown play. And it was 17-14 Niners. The Niners would punt again when Alex was sacked by Harper for the second time on 3rd and 10. But the Niners D would hold the Aints off the board when Drew Brees' pass on 3rd and 8 was picked off by Terrell Brown. But yet again, the Niners couldn't do anything with it and would punt it back. And 5 plays later, with 59 seconds left in the half, the Niners D would hold again and force New Orleans to go 3-and-out. But when they got the ball back on 2nd and 10, Alex was sacked and lost the ball. But after 3 incompletes by Drew Brees, the half would be over, and the Niners would have a 17-14 halftime lead. Halftime stats, I think that this should tell you. This doesn't really actually tell the full story of the game. New Orleans had 21 yards rushing, 182 yards passing for 203 total yards, but the 4 turnovers killed them. And teams going into that game were 1 and 71 when turning the ball over in playoff history. The only win coming in 1977 when the Baltimore Colts lost to the Oakland Raiders in overtime, and that's the only loss in playoff history when you get 4 turnovers. Or I should say the only win in NFL playoff history when you turn the ball over 4 times up until that point. And I'm pretty sure nobody's turned the ball over 4 times in a playoff game in one since. So New Orleans had 0 points off the turnover, but held on to the ball for 17 minutes and 51 seconds, which is crazy to think that they held on to the ball for over a quarter. When you turn over the ball 4 times in the first half, that's crazy. They were 4 on 9 on third downs for 1 sack, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick. Drew Brees was 5 and 7 on third down for 55 yards and 4 first downs. The Niners would finish the half with 48 passing yards, 108 total passing for 156 total, 10 points off of turnovers with the 1 turnover, and 12 minutes and 9 seconds of time of possession. But this is a little interesting stat going into halftime. Since going up 17-0, they had 4 possessions, 3 fumbles, 3 punts, and 1 fumble. The Niners would get the ball back to start the third quarter, but remain cold. And on 3rd and 9, Alex would be sacked by Jenkins, making it the 4th time in 5 possessions the Niners would punt. But the Niners special teams would force their second takeaway. Blake Costanzo had a forced fumble recovery and a forced fumble. Blake Costanzo, what a great Niner. Not on defense, right? What a great Niner special teamer. Probably one of the greatest special teamers in team history. Definitely makes Blake Costanzo. The Niners would force their second takeaway, but on 3rd and 7, Crabtree would have his 3rd drop, and the Niners would have to settle for a 41-yard field goal to make the score 20-14 Niners. The Niners D would step it up again, and on 3rd and 10, Justin Smith would sack Brees to force the New Orleans punt, but still the Niners, for the 5th time in 6 possessions, would punt when the drive got derailed by Frank Gore. So they hand the ball off to Frank Gore. He passes it back to Alex Smith. Alex Smith drops it, which is a fumble because it's a pass behind the line of scrimmage, and that just simply derailed the drive, and the Niners would punt. But yet again, the Niners would bend but not break, and Brees on 3rd and 10 would be broken. Pass on 3rd and 10 would be broken up by Carlos Rogers to force the New Orleans punt. But I mean, man, yet again, for the 6th time in 7 possessions, the Niners would hurt themselves, would punt, and it would do it by hurting themselves, going back to back OPIs, would force the Niners to go 3 and out, and even worse, Ted Ginn got hurt, which we all know was the reason that Kyle Williams would be returning punts and kickoffs in against the Giants in the NFC Championship game, and we all know what happened, and that's the last time I'm gonna mention that motherfucker's name. But the Niners, New Orleans would take advantage this time, and 9 plays later, New Orleans 48-yard, which was a playoff record for them, made it 20-17 with 13:08 left in the game. The team would exchange punts, and then the Niners drive would finally get something going and would add a 37-yard field goal to make it 23-17 with 7:40 left in the ball game, setting up probably the craziest 7 minutes and 40 seconds in NFL history. We're going to go ahead and take our commercial. Well, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take our commercial break right now, and we'll be back to finish off the ball game. Okay, and we're not back. And we're back. We're going to go ahead and finish probably one of the craziest finishes in Niners history, next to maybe the comeback versus the Giants. I mean, but this is definitely up there. So Drew Brees would heat up after this, and on the next drive, he would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 9, for 6 for 8, and would finally, after 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 play of the drive, would complete a short pass to the middle to Darren Sproles, and who would take it the rest of the way, 44 yards for the touchdown, giving New Orleans, after their extra point, the first lead of the game at 24-23. Aints with 4:11 back to go. The Niners would get the ball with 4:02 left, and their offense would finally start to heat up, and Alex Smith would complete passes to Kendall Hunter and a deep pass to Gordon Davis for 37 yards to set the Niners up at the New Orleans 30 after a Frank Gore 5-yard run and a Kendall Hunter 2-yard run. New Orleans would take their timeout, second timeout, with 2:18 left. The Niners would have a 12-man on the field penalty, but on 3rd and 8, Alex Smith would complete the play of dreams, following Joe Staley up the left side for 28 yards. Ted Robinson, Alex Smith with the play of dreams. It just giving me goosebumps thinking about it right now. That would give the Niners the lead back at 30-29. Or sorry, 29-24. Frank Gore would take the 2-point conversion up left guard, but fail, making the score 29-24. Niners with 2:18 left in the game. And honestly, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking the ball game's over. Alex Smith, is the hero of the game finally after so many years and so much crap he took, from the media, from the Niners, from the faithful, from everybody. Alex Smith is going to have the drive of his life and running in for 28 yards for the touchdown. I mean, that if Alex Smith ever goes into any type of Hall of Fame, or when he's honored, I'm assuming he'll be honored at some point by the Niners to at least say good career. I'm not talking about going to the Ring of Honor or anything like that. That play will be shown over and over again when the Niners went ahead and did a tribute to him. That play was shown, but Drew Brees and the Aints would have different ideas. Drew Brees, the Aints would get the ball back with 2:07 at their own 12-yard line, and after passes for 10 yards to Darren Sproles and 12 yards from Marquise Colston, the Aints were at the 22-yard line, and on 1st and 10 from the New Orleans 34, Jimmy Graham would catch a 66-yard touchdown. Drew Brees would complete the 2-point conversion to Darren Sproles, and New Orleans looked like they might win the game at 32-29 with a minute 48 left in the game. I mean, honestly, I'm going to say I love Dante Hittner, one of my favorite Niners safeties next to Merton Hanks and Ronnie Lott, but this would have been the second missed tackle he made that led to a big play. And honestly, probably would have cost us the game if it was any other team on any other day. But the Niners that year weren't going down without a fight. And oh man, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. The game was one of the greatest games ever. You know what? Before we get into the final drive, we're going to go ahead and take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. I guess we had a little bit of a delay. But okay. So the drive that would really, I guess, I want to say etch Alex Smith's name in Niner history. I think that's a little bit too far fetched to say it's in. Well, yeah, you know what? This is a big play in Niner history, so I will say it. The drive that honestly, you know, it's clear that Alex Smith wasn't the first overall pick, you know, in the '05 draft, but on that day, every Niner fan was glad that we did take him first overall. He had the drive of dreams. The Niners would take over at their own. It was returned. The kickoff was returned for 20 yards by Kyle bitch ass fucking Williams, and we returned to the Niners 15, and that's where the drive would start. I don't understand how that we ended up getting to 15. Whatever, ignore the 20-yard part. That's weird. But the ball would be at the Niners 15 with 132 left, and the Niners having only one timeout left. Or they didn't use another timeout right here. But Alex Smith on 1st and 10 from the 15 will complete a short pass left to Frank Gore for 7 yards. Alex Smith on 2nd and 3 will complete a short pass to the middle for Frank Gore for 11 yards. And the Niners first down. How? 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 Then on 1st and 10 for the 33, Alex would throw the only incompletion that wasn't a spike on the drive when the ball was intended for Brent Swain. Bring up 2nd and 10. And Alex would complete a ball deep to Vernon Davis for 47 yards, who was tackled by Michael Jackson, setting the ball up 1st and 10 at New Orleans 20-yard line. Alex then would hand the ball, complete a 6 short pass to Frank Gore for 6 yards, and then spike the ball on 2nd down, giving the Niners 3rd and 3. And it's very interesting that the catch, the grab, or whatever you want to call them, all the catches, the catch two and the grab, Vernon post, whatever you want to call it, all happened on 3rd and 3. And everybody knows the play. Smith in the gun. Gore on his right hit. Alex takes the snap. Alex looking. Got him. Hit the post. Got him. That is caught. Touchdown. Touchdown 49ers. Alex Vernon Davis with the play of his life. And the 49ers are 9 seconds away for playing for the NFC Championship. Can you feel Candlestick? Oh, Ted Robinson. Oh, the call just gives me goosebumps. I love Eric Davis. Out of the 3 main, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the only 3 play-by-play color analysts that the Niners have had on the Niner radio in my lifetime that I remember: Gary Plummer, Eric Davis, and now Tim Ryan. Honestly, Eric Davis was my favorite. I mean, I love Gary Plummer was a good analyst and everything like that, but Eric Davis was my favorite because you could just tell, as he would like to put it, he bleeds for the colors. And just on that play, everybody, oh, it's unprofessional. No, I loved it. You heard him, oh, screaming in the back, got him, and everything like that. That just, as a fan, that's how you felt. And you felt Eric Davis's love for the red and gold come out right there. I loved it. I was going crazy. It was psycho. It was just, it was Niner football after the decade of darkness. It was back. It was amazing. Honestly, I felt that we were a team of destiny that year. But Kyle Williams bitch ass had different plans. But yes, I really will cuss out Kyle Williams bitch ass. Cost us the championship. Anyway, it was just one of the most amazing feelings I had because the Niners had been in the playoffs since I was 16, almost 17 years old. At that point, I'm a dad. I'm 20, almost 24. It was definitely a long, 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 long time coming. Oh, wait, it's 2003. Yeah, I was 16, almost 17. And at that time, I was, oh, wait, I was 25, almost 26. Yeah, I'm 23, 24. I was 25, almost 26. I'd gone through many, many, many years of Niner heartbreak. And it just felt like, I don't know, put your comments in the feeling, but it felt like the return to glory. It was, the first taste of the dynasty that we had. Well, what it felt like in the dynasty, I should say. Since the, the dynasty, really, and the last couple of years with Jeff Garcia, or well, those couple of years with Jeff Garcia. But it was such an amazing feeling. The Aints would get the ball back with 9 seconds left. Or I'm sorry, with 3 seconds left. The Niners would take a timeout. Drew Brees would complete a pass short right to Darren Sproles for 3 yards, who lateral to Robert Malcolm, who for 1 yard was tackled by C.J. Spielman, and the ball game was over. The Niners would win and host their 9th NFC Championship game at Candlestick. Thanks 36, thanks 32, and exactly what they picked in Vegas. Oh man, it was just one of the most memorable games in Niner history. Let's go to team stats. The Aints would get more first downs to us, 26-17. They would have 14 attempts for 37 yards rushing. The Niners had 22 attempts for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. Drew Brees would finish the game 40 for 63 for 462 yards, 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. Alex Smith would finish the game 24 of 42 for 299 yards and 3 touchdowns with no picks. Alex would get sacked 4 times for 35 yards, and we would sack Drew Brees 3 times for 27 yards. Let me make sure I read that right. Let's see. Let's go to defense. Let's see. 3, 4. Yeah, okay. That I did read that right. And the Aints would have 3 fumbles lost, and we would fumble the ball 3 times, only use 1. Net passing yards for the Aints was 435. For us, it's 264. Total yards 472. For the Aints, 407 for us. Like I said, they would have turn over the ball 5 times. We would turn it over only once. The Aints would not be penalized all game. We would be penalized 3 times for 3 times for 33 yards, and the Aints would, after being number 1 in the regular season, they would go 5 for 14 on 3rd down. The Niners would go 4 for 13, and New Orleans would time possession, hold on the ball for 31 minutes and 20 seconds versus our 28-40. Oh man, who was our leading receiver? Frank Gore would finish his first playoff game Let's see. I'm looking at right here. Where are the Niners stats? What are the Niners stats? Okay, right here. Would rush the ball for 13 times for 89 yards, but no touchdowns. Interesting. Alex finished the one game with one attempt for 28 yards and one touchdown. Honestly, that's all he needed. Connell Hunter would have 6 carries for 23 yards. Frank Gore would have 7 catches on 7 targets for 38 yards. How many tackles would Patrick Willis have? Let's look that up right now. Patrick Willis would have 8 tackles, 8 solo, and 1 fumble recovery doing his damn thing. NaVorro Bowman would have 11 tackles, 10 solo, 1 assist. Let's see. Where's Aldon Smith would finish the game with 3 tackles, 3 solos, 1 tackle for loss, 2 quarterback hits, and where's the sacks? Mark Brooks would have a sack, Justin Smith would have a sack, and Aldon Smith would have a sack. We're going to go ahead and chill for the next 3 minutes right here. But, I mean, let me know your thoughts on the game. It was an amazing game for the Red and Gold. Probably one of my favorite games in Niner history. Definitely one of the games that made you feel the Red and Gold are back. And it wasn't, there was some magic in Candlestick. It wasn't just during the dynasty and, the short, time that we had, I guess you could say continue the dynasty. I don't know if you could technically consider it the dynasty. Most players weren't on the Niners from the dynasty anymore. But just an amazing game. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. Oh, no, we'll just go ahead and give it another minute before we go through our spiel. Episode 4 right now. Here's episode 4. All right. Just to remind everybody before we get out here, go to twitch.tv/Niner Faithful Radio to join us for all our live streams of all our shows. And you can subscribe for free to our channel with Amazon Prime. You get 1 free sub a month. Consider using it on your boy, but you want to hurry up. Also, you have to resubscribe every month for the Faithful by the Faithful pre-launch sales coming July 30th. Save 20% off of all designs. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop for more details. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio, all one word, to save on all your concert, theater, and sporting event tickets. That website again is SeatGiant.com, and the promo code is NinerFaithfulRadio. Get your license. 9 officially licensed Niners gear from shop49ers.com by using our affiliate link. It costs you no more, and it really helps out the show. The link will be in the description of this video, the YouTube video, and the podcast. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com to check out all our interviews, blogs, and previous episodes of all our shows. You can also find, if you are listening to this as a podcast, please rate, review, subscribe, and download. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit that notification bell to let you know when we upload a new video. You can find out every platform you can subscribe at by going to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. You can follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful are. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Till tomorrow, join me on Faithful Talk tomorrow. Faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
It's second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell. Intercepted. The 49ers pick it. And Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption. The man seat. Navarro Bowman, who could not cover an onside kick, catches a deflected pass for an interception and runs it 7 miles for a touchdown.
You are now tuned in to Red and Gold Rewind, exclusively streamed at twitch.tv/Niner Faithful Radio.
See ya.